nauupo. Ba't kayo umupo? Tumayo kayo, pangatawanan nyo yan. Hindi, sige, naupo na. Good morning to everyone. We would like to thank again Father Stephen for that wonderful presentation. In fact, he already alluded to some of the points that I had intended to share. So please do not forget his sharing, a wonderful sharing. And he was my former student. Not in social communications, in fundamental theology. Ayan. Parang ang tanda-tanda ko na tuloy. But it's good to see former students who are now doing their mission very well. No, si Father Ilde, also here, no? Mga dating mga estudyante. Ayan, siguro meron pa dyan mga nakatago riyan. Ano? I'm sorry I don't have a PowerPoint presentation. What an irony, in a summit on social communications, I have nothing that is technological to use except for the microphone. Well, we can continue communicating even without it, with the help of this. Now, as I said, my role this morning is to deal with spirituality in the social networking world. And Father Stephen already indicated many elements related to my theme. As he has indicated, especially using some of the recent pronouncements of our Holy Father and our the Vatican Curia, especially the Pontifical Council for Social Communications, we realize that social networking is very much welcomed by the Church. So let us not look at this whole new world simply as an enemy. There is much good in it. It is one of the signs of the times, giving us hope and opportunities for mission. So the social networking world is both a means of bringing the good news of Jesus Christ to a vaster audience. It is truly an instrument of evangelization. But at the same time, it is a field that needs to be evangelized. Magkasabayan. So yung social networking ay pamamaraan ng pagpapadala ng mabuting balita, subalit ito rin ay isang mundo na nangangailangan na ma-evangelize. So if we always hear the church is not only an evangelizing church, but a church that needs to be evangelized in order to evangelize others. The same with social networking in the media world. The world of media is the means to evangelize, but also a world to be evangelized. Now, pag sinabi nating spirituality, maganda yung ending ni Father Stephen. Spirituality means for us Christians, discipleship. Following Christ. And if you follow Christ, you are united with the Father. But how can we follow Christ? Only in the power of the Holy Spirit. That is spirituality. So, kapag gumagamit ka ng web, pag gumagamit ka ng, pati na itong text, pag gumagamit ka ng internet, ginagamit mo ba yan bilang alagad ni Kristo? At ginagamit mo ba yan para ikaw at ang iyong mga kakosa ay makarating sa Diyos Ama at maramdaman ang kilos ng Espiritu Santo? Does that enter your minds? Hindi. And not only in the use of social networking, in many aspects of life, discipleship, spirituality, is often set aside. Yan ang sinasabi ng PCP2. We are a predominantly Christian country in terms of numbers. But there is a big divide between the faith, spirituality, discipleship, and ordinary life. Ilan sa atin, sa pagbubukas ng inbox sa ating cellphone, ang consciously bubuksan ko ito bilang alagad ni Kristo. Ilan sa atin ang sasagot nang magpapadala ng message na iniisip sa pagsagot ko, marinig sana at mabasa nung kabila na ang nagpadala ng text ay alagad ni Kristo. Sa spelling na spelling pa lang, hindi na alagad ni Kristo Who you? You. Alagad ba ni Kristo yan? Lalo na graduate ng Catholic school, hindi marunong ng spelling. Well, that's another world. Kasi I am a teacher. I am alarmed. Ang tinuturuan ko, master's and doctoral level. Yung ibang students, akala nila yung paper nila at test exams ay text. Ang spelling ay kung paano yung spelling sa text. Theology. Trinity. Three-enity. Ano ganyan? Mabibigyan mo ba yan ng MA? O gano'n na ba ang standards ng MA? Okay na ba yun? No? Ibang usapin naman yan. Pero magsimula ako sa isang karanasan. Kabe-birthday ko lang nung isang buwan. Okay. Huwag niyo na akong batiin, kayo naman. Okay. Pero ito napansin ko, yung Archdiocese of Manila, yung mga pari, sabi nila, mag-ano tayo, simple, misa at lunch at mag-iimbita ng kaunti. So, sa misa at tanghalian, siguro mga 350 persons came. 350. Marami-rami na yun. Magpakain ka ba ng 350? Medyo may impact yan sa bulsa. Pero, nakatanggap pa rin ako ng birthday cards at mga letters. Hindi lalampas ng 20. The art of letter writing and card sending is slowly disappearing. 20 greeting cards and letters. But I received more than 1,000 text messages na hanggang ngayon hindi ko pa tapos sagutin. At mukhang ipagpapaliban ko na sa Christmas para pagsagot ko ng Merry Christmas, thanks for your birthday greetings, and Happy All Souls Day. Lahat-lahat na para makatipid na ako. Ganyan. Pero mahigit 1,000 na texts. Tapos, meron kasi akong Facebook account, but somebody administers it for me, yung Jesuit Communications. Nag-print out sila. No? Mahigit din 1,000 na greetings through the legitimate Facebook account. Kasi meron 3 illegitimate in my name na hindi naman ako ang nagbukas. No? Pero pati dun sa illegitimate, may bumati pa rin. No? Illegitimate greetings. Ganyan. Pero doon pa lang, isang okasyon sa buhay ng isang tao, birthday. And see how the manner of communicating greetings and prayers has all dramatically changed. I used to receive a lot of letters and cards. Now I get text messages and printouts. maganda rin naman. At kung totoo yung sinasabi na for every friend, you count that as 150, eh yung sa aking legitimate Facebook, merong mga more than 100,000 friends. Aba, ilan yun? Kung bawat isa doon ay 150. Wow! Hindi ko maaabot yun sa isang regular Sunday homily. Hindi ko yan maaabot sa isang conference na katulad nito. No? So, ang laki talaga ng nagagawa. And I know you know more than I do. Now, having seen the potentials of this world, let us enter into a bit of the discipleship dimension so that there will be less conflict between, sinasabi nga, God detect, etiquette, which is related to God, morality, and etiquette used in the area of the net. Ilang bagay lang po. The first point that I want to share is this. The use of not only the web, the internet, but also the other means of social communications like the radio, the television, no? The cell phones, lahat na isasama na natin. For me, is a great equalizer. It is a great equalizer. To some extent, not totally. We see in our world the enduring scandal of so much division, economic division. Napakalaking iskandalo. Yung paghahati ng mayaman at mahirap. Political divisions, cultural divisions, social divisions, and sadly, even religious divisions. And still, sadly, the division among Christians. But if we look at the economic, social, and cultural divide, makikita natin, how do you determine, how do you know that there is a division? One area is access. For example, some people have access to the best hospitals, but some people don't even have access to aspirin, Decolgen. Some people have a big problem. Saan ko ba padadala ang anak ko sa pag-aaral? Sa London ba? Sa Singapore ba? Sa Japan ba? But others, their question is, makakapag-aral ba ang anak ko? There is a lot of inaccessibility in our world. And you determine the privileged group from the underprivileged by looking at the accessibility of social services, educational services, food, medical services, all the basic needs. At wag na tayong ilusyon pa. Sa mundo natin, pati sa Pilipinas, mayroong iilan na maraming access, pero may nakararami, walang access sa ibang mga kailangan sa buhay. Now, but when you look at the world of social networking and social media, it is one great equalizer. Pati sa palengke, yung nagtitinda ng palengke na sa palengke ng isda na ang kamay ay napakalansa, nakakapag-text. Malansa man ang kamay mo, o ang kamay mo'y laging ini-sprayan ng alcohol dahil takot na takot ka sa bacteria, virus, ganyan. Pareho kayong makakapag-text ngayon. Kung dati-rati ang camera para lamang sa may pera bumili ng camera, ngayon, basta may cellphone kang maayos-ayos, may camera ka na. Lahat nakakakuha na ngayon ng litrato. At marami pang iba. Most especially, access to information. Beyond economic lines, social boundaries, and cultural divides. There was a time, I know this is still present in our time, where possession of knowledge and information is a sign of power. Mas makapangyarihan ka kung ikaw ay may impormasyon. Kaya yung walang kaalam-alam at walang access to knowledge and information, lalo silang nagiging dukha. At hirap, samantalang yung mayroong hawak na impormasyon, makapangyarihan yan. Pati naman sa ordinaryong pakikipag-ugnayan. Halimbawa, alam ko na ang tatay mo ayaw na ikaw ay manigarilyo. Pero nahuli kita. May alam ako sa iyo. Kapag sinabi ko sa iyo, pahiram naman ang kotse mo, sasabihin mo, ay hindi, gagamitin ko. May alam ako sa iyo. Nakita kisang naninigarilyo, sasabihin ko sa tatay mo, o kailan mo kailangan yung kotse? Ha? And that's how information is being used. It's being used for blackmail, for power over people. But that's another, it's a topic for another summit. Ngayon, let us rejoice at the fact that thanks to the world of social media and networking, information can be shared to a wider audience. Para bagang knowledge is not just the privilege of a powerful few. Knowledge is now available to everyone. And for this, we rejoice that the means of social communications are able to create somehow a new world where the many divisions and the many false privileges, that false views of humanity and of good life are dismantled somehow. Yan. Kaya sana yung sharing of information and knowledge through the use of the means of social communications could create a world that is more equitable, a world where access to important things is available to all. Mahirap, mababa, may pinag-aralan at wala. Okay. So yun po ang isa. Now, how is that related to spirituality? Di ba? Yan naman ang ikinamatay ni Jesus. Sa kanyang sulat sa mga taga-Efeso, sabi ni San Pablo, tayo na dating magkahiwalay ay naging iisa sa pamamagitan ng dugo ni Kristo. At sabi rin ni San Pablo sa kanyang sulat sa mga taga-Galasya, dahil kay Jesus, wala nang malaya at alipin, walang babae, lalaki, walang Hudyo at Hentil. Lahat ay nagkakaisa sa iisang katawan dahil kay Kristo. Kaya baka ang isang gagamitin ni Jesus para itong mga pagkakahati-hati na ginagawa lagi ng mundo ay mawala at maging iisa, at least in the area of information and knowledge. No? Building a new world of equals, sharing the same information, baka nandyan na sa social networking. Kung gagamitin sana ayon sa kagustuhan ni Jesus na magkaroon tayo ng bagong sangkatauhan, magkakapatid, at lahat may access sa mahahalagang bagay sa mundo. Yan po ang isa. Yan ang isa. Ang ikalawa po, Yun lang salitang networking. Yan ay connected sa, ayan, sinabi ko na connected sa salitang connectivity. Connectivity. Nagulat nga ako minsan sa isang kumpil, nagkumpil ako. Di pagkatapos ng kumpil, may lumapit na siguro yun ninang doon sa kumpil. Sabi, Bishop, friend kita. Tiningnan ko, no? Hindi ko naman to kilala ngayon ko lang ito nakita. Tapos, friend ko raw siya. Pa-picture naman. Friend naman kita Siyempre, nakasuot obispo ako kailangan magalang. Gusto ko sanang itulak at friend, di naman kita kaano-ano ganyan. Friend, ano? Tapos, bigla naman niyang idinagdag din. Sa Facebook, oo nga pala. No. Kasi, dati, pag sinabing friend, kaibigan, umaabot siya ng ilang taon. Bago mo matawag ang isang tao na friend. Aaminin ko sa inyo, minsan may lalapit sa akin, Bishop, kilala ko si so and so, friend mo raw. Alam nyo, nagre-revolusyon ang aking kalooban minsan. Gusto kong sabihin, kilala ko ho, acquaintance. Pero yan taong yan, hindi ko pa pwedeng ituring na friend. Kasi, nakilala ko siya. Nagkape kami. Sapat na ba yun na pagkatapos mong magkape? Friend na. Sa mundong kinalakihan ko, gagapang ka para maging friend. Hindi po pwedeng in one click, friend ka na. Nagsisimula ka sa getting to know you. Diba? Yung mga katulad ko na nagbiyahe ng katakot-takot, no? Papasok ka sa eskwela, 5:00 ng umaga, nandun ka na sa istasyon ng jeep o bus. Chances are, araw-araw, pare-pareho kayo. Para kayong mga magkakaklase sa bus stop. Hanggang maging pamilyar ang mga muka. Dati hindi kayo nagpapansinan. Mamaya-maya, pagka nagkakita kayo, siya na naman, sisimulan mo sa ngiti. Hindi pa friendship yun. Hindi pa, ano lang, recognition lang yun mamaya, ilang buwan na. yung ano na yun, yung ngiti yun, saan ka pumapasok? Doon, ikaw, magkalapit pala tayo. Yan, tiga saan ka ba? Yan, doon lang ako sa kabilang barangay. Mamaya, pagkatapos ng 1 taon, kayo na naman na magkakaklase doon sa bus stop. Mamaya, ikaw hindi pa nag-almusal, kakain ka, naandun siya. Gusto mo biskotso? Ayan. Ayan. Pagkatapos niyan, and then you get to know, you gather information, maya, piyesta doon sa amin kung may oras ka, punta ka ha. Ayan, ayan. Tapos yan, pagka-graduate mo ng college, at medyo may ano-ano nang, marami-rami na kayong alam, marami na kayong interaction, baka pwede mo nang tawagin, kaibigan ko yan At katulad nung old maid kanina, sana, ba't ka tumawa? Aminin mo. Relate ka, no? Kilala ko ito Kilala ko Naisip nga kita kanina At least naisip kita, ha? Wala ka man sa screen, nasa isip kita. Mamili ka, sa screen o isip ko? Ano ba ang sinasabi ko? Ayan, kung katulad, uuwi sana from friendship to union. Maging mag-asawa man o hindi, ang hanap ng puso ay communion. Now, I want to think na yung matagal na process dati for friendship na ngayon ay parang napakabilis. For me, I think it is indicative of the same longing. The same longing of the human heart to be connected with others. Baka yung pagmamadali ng mundo ngayon na dumami ang friends ay pakita, patunay na baka mas lalong malungkot ang mundo ngayon. Baka yung pagmamadali natin na magkaroon ng mga friends that I will like and hopefully will like me. Isn't this an indication that individualism, loneliness has really crept? And so there is a deep cry for friends. And I cannot wait. I need you now. May mungkahi ako eh. Kasi kalimitan ng savvy in the use of the means of social communications and the web are the young professionals. And now, even the children in grade school. And now also the late adults. I'm interested. Yung mga kabataan na ang isa o parehong magulang ay wala. Bawa, OFW. Sila kaya ang mas gumagamit ng social networking compared to those who live in regular families. I don't know. It just crossed my mind. Ito kayang paggamit na, Bishop, friend kita. Is this a cry of so many children who are left behind? Who are looking for not only friends, but also parents and family. This came to me very vividly and even dramatically. Noong nung dati ho kasi sa Diocese of Imus ako, sa Cavite. Kaya nakilala ko ho si Joy. Naghahanap po siya ng friend. Mabuti na lang walang Mactan Bridge sa Cavite. Yes. Tumayo ka naman para makita ka nila. Sige na. Sige na. Ayan. Ayan. Ayun. Kung saan man siya nakakaway, baka ikaw ang sugo ng Diyos. Kaya lang naka-Roman collar eh. Kasi minsan, isang youth encounter, summer. So, inimbitahan ako ng mga youth ministers. Nagbigay ako ng talk. Yung pa namang talk is about discerning the purpose of life, vocation, etc. Pagkatapos ko ng talk, open forum. Nagtaas ng kamay yung isang bata. Ang unang tanong, Bishop, kakantahan niyo ba kami? Will you sing for us? Yung magtanong kayo tungkol dun sa talk. Mamaya kakanta tayo. Maraming tanong. Mamaya, meron isang batang lalaki nagtaas na naman. Bishop, kailan mo kami kakantahan? At ikaw, wala akong handa eh. Sana sinabi nyo, nagdala ako ng -1. Magsisimula ako ng kanta, sabay-sabay tayo. Di kumanta. Pagkatapos nun, lapitan, halik ng kamay, pa-picture. At ang dami nagpa-autograph. Sa libro, sa t-shirts. May isang batang babae, Bishop, gusto ko dito. Ay, magtatanong ang mga tao, paano napunta dyan? Ang signature ng obispo, tumalikod ka. Talikod. Kaya sinasabi kanina ni Father Stephen, mag-isip ha, huwag basta-basta, talikod. Ayan. The following year, youth camp na naman. May lumapit na isang batang lalaki Sabi niya, Bishop, yung t-shirt na pinirmahan mo last year, hindi ko pa pinapalabhan. Pero gabi-gabi, tinofold ko, nilalagay ko sa ilalim ng aking unan. Kasi malayo ang tatay ko. With the t-shirt under my pillow, I feel I belong to a family, the church. Iniisip ko, hindi kaya ito yung ibig sabihin na friend kita. The rush with which we want to have more friends might be indicative of the depths of loneliness, of being disconnected. And it is a prayer, it is a cry. It's a cry to God. It's a cry to neighbors and humanity. Do you see me? Do I exist for you? Or will I be forever alone? Will I ever have a partner, a friend? Bagamat ako ay may pagka-old-fashioned na gusto ko pa rin sana yung mahabang proseso bago matawag ang isang tao na friend. I see this as one calling. And please, as Father Stephen already indicated to us, in the use of the social networking media, please take the word friend seriously. Don't reduce it to a mere label. Don't use it simply to prove to somebody else, I have more friends than you do, such that it becomes more of a contest rather than a Christian response to people's need to be connected, to be loved, to be heard, to be understood, to belong. And this is very Christian. For Jesus told his disciples, I no longer call you slaves, I call you friends. Kaya ngayon, pag may lumalapit sa akin, Bishop, friend kita, nababawasan na yung reaction ko. Iniisip ko na lang, baka sugo ito ni Jesus na nagsasabi, kaibigan kita. And if you are really a friend, you will not communicate things that will destroy the other. You will be caring. You will look after their good. And you will use the means of social communication to be able to respond to their deep needs rather than make their lives more miserable. Kaya ito po, napakahalaga ito. Si Jesus mismo nagsabi, kaibigan ko kayo. Ito ngayon ang isang venue for proclaiming what Christian friendship is all about. And if you need to correct somebody, if you need to lead somebody to the truth, do it in the name of friendship. Do it. Hindi lamang sakay ng sakay dahil moda, dahil in, kundi true caring, what will be good for the other. Not only what is fashionable or what will gain for me appreciation and affirmation. Malinaw ho ba ito pa? Isa lang ang sumagot. Salamat. Sugo ka ng Diyos. May ikatlo pa hong element sana. Sabi nga ho kanina ni Father Stephen, one phenomenon of our age is how the means of social networking and social communications are able to unite people, not only in friendship, but also in promoting human causes, political causes, causes for truth, justice, for the promotion of the integrity of creation. Sabi nga po ng ibang analysts, ang nagpanalo raw kay President Obama ay ang social networking. More than the sorties, yung political sorties na pupunta ka sa mga town meetings, ilan pa ang pupunta sa town meetings? Masaya na kung meron kang 50. Dahil heavy ang security, yung 50 na yan, malamang piling-pili pa yan. Pero how do you reach people and communicate to them your cause, your ideals, your convictions, your principles? The politicians, the economists, the bankers, the advertisers, they have really tapped on media, TV, web, lahat. Now, that is a good thing. That is a good thing, provided the cause is really good. Baka naman gagamitin yung social networking para sa mga causes na hindi naman makatao, hindi naman makatarungan, hindi naman makatotohanan, at hindi nagiging makadiyos at intelihente ang ating bayan, wag naman sana ganoon gagamitin. So, we have to ask ourselves, at the end of the Gospels, Jesus sends His disciples to baptize people and to teach them what He had commanded them to do. So meron tayong cause, and that is the cause of Christ. And the cause of Christ is, the kingdom of God is near. Let us repent. We don't want money, power, corruption to rule. We need God to rule. For where God rules, there will be truth, love, respect for life, integrity. We want God to come and rule us. Now, tayo, anong cause ba ang ating isinusulong, lalo na sa pamamagitan ng social networking? Halimbawa na lang sa text, kapag merong sale, 50% sale, talaga naman, ang bilis niyan. Send to all. We mobilize people. O magkita-kita tayo doon sa ganitong mall. 50%. Mobilization for a very consumeristic cause. Manonood ng kung anong pelikula o panonood ng kung anong concert na minsan naman ay wala naman yatang maidaragdag sa iyong pagiging marangal na tao. Send to all. Ano, magkita-kita tayo sa ganyan. Magkita-kita kayo. Magpakulay ka muna ng buhok mo. Para magkasama-sama tayo. Na lahat tayo ay purple ang buhok. Ganyan, for a cause. Sana naman. Bakit ikahihiya? Nagamitin yan for the cause who is Jesus and the kingdom of God. After all, that was the last command of Jesus to His disciples. Go. And now go, use the mass media, use social networking to tell people what I had commanded you. So sa halip na yung mga kung ano-ano doon kanina, nagtataka nga ako, hindi ko na lang matanong kay Father Saan niya nakuha yung mga nakabikini na yun, yung mga naghahalikan na yun, no? Napapaisip tuloy ako Father, kung nandiyan ka man, magpaliwanag ka mamaya. Yung ba'y pinadala sa'yo o pinadadala mo sa friends? Bakit hindi ako nakatanggap? Am I not your friend? Kanino ito? Dyan lang yan. Baka sumabog yan, no? Yan, ano? Oh, huwag kayong mahihiya. Huwag kayong mahihiya. No? Part of the spirituality is you proclaim. You are not forcing anyone, but you proclaim what you believe in. You proclaim the joy of being a follower of Christ. You proclaim and you hope to be viral, to contaminate others with the joy that comes to someone who has discovered Jesus. Contaminate others. Be a contagious disease. Contaminate them with the joy of being a promoter of the kingdom of truth, justice, and peace. Go viral. Sa ganoon. Kung ano-ano mga binaviral, na wala namang naitutulong para maging mabuting tao tayo. Si Jesus. So, this is the fundamental cause of Christians. The kingdom of God. The gospel. Atin po yung gamitin. Ang ikaapat po, ito paulit-ulit na, but I think we have to say this again and again. The Holy Father, Pope Benedict XVI, said that there is a Christian presence in the world of social communications, especially in the world of the web, a Christian presence. And one characteristic of that Christian presence is the presence of truth. Truth, katotohanan. Kasi po, ito ang danger sa kagagamit natin ng internet, computers, alam nyo ba na yan ay virtual reality? Virtual reality. Just to highlight this, meron akong kaibigan na mag-asawa. Sa bahay nila, merong isang section na meron silang mga computers for the use of the family. Sabi sa akin nung kaibigan ko, minsan daw silang mag-asawa, magkatabi doon sa room na yon, parehong nasa computer, nagpapadala sila ng email sa isa't isa. Kahit magkatabi sila. Sabi ko, magkatabi pala kayo ba't di na kayo mag-usap? Sabi niya, real din naman itong pagpapadala ng email sa isa't isa. Napaisip ako what is more real? Yung bang tao na I can touch, I can smell, I can hug. Is this person less real now? And what is more real is what appears on the screen. The question, what is truth? Is virtuality now more true? Alam niyo namang lumalabas-labas din ako sa TV. Nung a few days ago, may pinuntahan ako, may lumapit. Sabi, "Naku, Bishop, mas pogi ka pala sa personal." Yan ang real. Yung TV, virtual yan, virtual. At least mayroon siyang discerning eyes. Alam niya what is virtual, alam niya kung ano ang real. Pero minsan hindi na no? Sasabihin natin, uy, ang ganda naman itong bulaklak na ito. Parang plastic. Kapag yung tunay, pangit, mas maganda na yung plastic. There is a confusion here, and we should be discerning. While the means of social communications are meant to be agents of truth, it might also be changing our understanding of truth. And the Holy Father tells us that truth is not just a matter of opinions. Kasi pag dyan sa Facebook, katakot-takot na opinions. Sa chat room. And some people think that opinions make truth. Kaya nauuso na ngayon kung saan ka maligaya, sige, doon ka. So ganun na ba lang ba ang katotohanan? Kung saan ako maligaya, yun ang totoo. At pag hindi na ako maligaya doon, hindi na yun totoo. Kapag katabi ko yung asawa kita, totoo ba yun? Hanggat masaya ako sa'yo, asawa kita. Pag hindi na ako masaya sa'yo, hindi na totoo na asawa kita. Ano ba? Asawa mo ba siya o hindi? Sabi ni Pope, minsan, truth is reduced to opinions and truth is determined by surveys. Paramihan na lang. Kaya sasabihin nila, ito, mga 500 na nagsabi na ganito, 200 lang ang nagsabi nito. So, ang totoo ay itong 500. Not so. Not so. And for us, as Christians who follow Jesus, who is the way, the truth, and the life, we should be vanguards of truth. And in a world where there are many avenues for lying and distortions, let us make use of this wonderful tool to proclaim the truth. But there is a personal dimension here. Truth cannot be simply communicated. We need to be truthful ourselves. Kahit anong gadget, kahit anong instrument, pwedeng magamit sa mali kapag napalagay sa maling mga kamay. Kaya truth, communicating the truth, also questions us, are we people of truth and truthfulness? If we are not comfortable with the truth, then how do you expect me to communicate the truth? Ito na nga lang tatanungin mo ang mga tao, ilang taong ka na? T5. Meron bang number na T5? Ewan ko. Tinuturo na ba ngayon yan sa grade school? No? 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, T. T1, T2, T3, T4, T5. Ewan ko. Bakit ba ayaw sabihin? 65. Anong masama sa pagiging 65? Ang daming bata, gustong mabuhay. Pero dahil sa kahirapan, hindi nakakaabot ng second birthday. Tapos ikaw, biniyayaan ka hanggang 65, ikinahihiya mo, shame on you. Nagtitina pa ng buhok, ipakita mo 65 ka. Kabulaan na yan. Maraming galit sa akin na beauty parlor Kasi sinasabi ko na sila ay mga centers of lies. Sinugod ako minsan ng isang may-ari. Bishop naman, sa mga humilya mo naman. Mawawalan kami ng customer niyan Sabi ko, kasi kayo ay pugad ng pagbubulaan. Dinaday ninyo yung buhok. Nakalimutan nyo yung kilay. Itim na itim yung buhok, puting-puti naman yung kilay, o ano yan? Di ba pagbubulaan yan? Ang bihira. Galit na galit ako, tawa kayo ng tawa. Ito ang mundo natin ngayon, mas bulaan ka, aasenso ka. Mas bolero ka, mas mamahalin ka. Mambola ka, ma-elect ka. We need more means of truth. And here we are, social networking. And we do it not only because of the imperative of truth, but because of discipleship. We follow the truth, who is Jesus, the very person of Christ. Ay nako. Ayan na, malapit na. Ikalima, while we are becoming experts in the use of the means, no? Ako believe na believe talaga, ho? Kasi ako medyo late comer eh. Kasi naman yung panahon namin, typewriter, ha? Pagtatawag ka, dadaan ka pa sa operator, no? Pwede ho bang tumawag, collect call, no? Bibigay mo yung mga, wala yung mga direct na ganyan. Kapag natatraffic ka, hinihintay ka lang nung pupuntahan mo, wala kasing text na para sabihin, natatraffic ako. So lahat naghihintayan, mga ganyan, So, experts talaga. Ako natutuwa sa mga bata, kikita ko, no? Pag nagpapaturo ako, ang bibilis nila, teka, bakit yun ang pinindot mo? Ano ba yan? Yan, no? Yan. Very agile, no? Very agile sa ganyan. Pero ito lang ang pakiusap. Sabi natin kanina, naghahanap kalimitan ng friends, connectivity, networking. But let us not forget that even in the absence of the gadgets, even in the absence of the cell phone, the computers, we can still connect. Let us not forget the basic human relationships that are always available. A smile, a recognition of the other person, a manifestation of compassion. These are all communicative and they are palpable. People can feel your touch. People can see your tears. People can hear your voice cracking out of compassion. People could hear your contagious laughter. And in all of those, you are connecting. Kaya sana po, wag sanang magkaroon ng clash. Kasi sinasabi ng mga educators ngayon, yung mga masyadong experts in the use of the means of communications ay bumababa raw yung social skills. Okay. At dapat tingnan natin yan. Dapat tingnan. Kanina nag-allude si Father Stephen doon sa mga games. No? Kasi kalamihan nga raw ng computer games, may violence, parang aasenso ka sa dami ng taong binaril mo. Mas marami kang napatay, panalo ka. Hindi lang laro yan Baka mamaya, ganyan na nasa isip. Mas marami akong tapakan, aasenso ako. Gumawa tayo ng mga video games na based on the Beatitudes, based on Matthew 25. Mas marami kang napakain na gutom, taas ang score mo. Mas marami kang nabigyan ng tubig na nauuhaw, mas marami kang nabisita na bilanggo, tataas ang mo. Bakit? Parang walang interesadong gumawa ng mga ganong games. Yung ating mga games cater to what is base, what is raw, what is even primitive. No? Pero yung what is noble, no? Yung ganoon. Bakit parang hindi yun enjoyable game? Yan. No, so, and also the human interaction. Meron hong nag-offer sa akin na isang university kung pwede raw ako magturo. Sabi ko, nako, hindi ko na kaya magbiyahe ng ganung kalalayo. Sabi, hindi, Bishop, online teaching. Na, kaya yung on your class days, lagay tayo ng Skype, mga ganyan-ganyan. Napag-isipan ko, pero sabi ko, hindi ho. While I know the power of those gadgets, I am basically a classroom teacher. I want to be there. I want to see the students yawning. I want to see the students falling asleep. Yung kanilang ballpen, bigla na lang lilipad kasi naalimpungatan. Kasi that teaches me, kapag ganito pala ang oras ng klase, pag ganito pala ang approach ko sa topic, para akong anesthesiologist. Eh di sa ospital na lang ako mag-lecture para less ang fee sa anesthesiologist. I want to be there, and I want the students to see me perspiring. I want them to see my saliva blurting out. I want the human element to be there. I don't want only a communication of content. I want a communal event to happen. Na nandiyan kami, no, sama-sama. And I hope it is not just in the classroom. No? Minsan kasi, pag lapag ng eroplano sa airport, lahat tayo bukasan na ng cell. No? Kita nyo, wala na nagpapansinan. Habang naglalakad lahat, no? Lahat na may kausap. No. Wala. So you can be in a big mall, a crowded mall, and really be alone. And the irony of it all is, what isolates you is the very means intended for connection. So we have to look at the different levels of connectivity. There is a connectivity that happens through networking. But let us not forget there is a connectivity that is bodily, done and available all the time. And finally, in the recent message of the Holy Father, he says, the best communication happens in silence. Silence and communication. Now, this is not just philosophical. This is not just parang a play on words. This is not just for dramatic effect. Kasi for him, the basis is the prologue of St. John's Gospel. In the beginning was the Word. The Word was uttered by God in the silence of eternity. In the mystery of the heart of God, a word is eternally uttered. Minsan na pag-iisipan ko, available naman itong means of networking, communication, itong mga leaders ng bansa. One text away, one phone call away, one email away, one click. Pero bakit parang walang communication na nangyayari? Even as we speak right now, there are probably more than 300 battles being waged in different parts of the world. Napakagulo ng mundo. Sa panahon na parang napakadali naman na mag-communicate. Pakakailangan silence. The silence of attentiveness. The silence of getting in touch with the depths of humanity. The silence called prayer, where we listen and we develop the art of listening, so that before I utter my word, I know I have listened to God, I have listened to others, I have listened to myself, I have listened to creation. Silence prepares us to utter a meaningful word. Silence is the fertile ground for the communication of God's word. Only those who can be at home with silence can utter a meaningful word. Naalaala ko sa isang usapan naming mga obispo, pag kami-kami lang Talagang kakatuwa, para kaming mga bata rin. Ano? Sabi sa akin no isang bishop, alam mo dati, paggising ko sa umaga, nagdarasal ako. Ngayon, paggising ko sa umaga, chinecheck ko kung may pumasok na text. Sabi niya, I'm getting disturbed na iba na ang aking pattern sa pagmulat ng mata. Kaya sabi niya, parang I have to go back to silence. Pati ang phone is silent mode. And only people who are capable of deep spiritual silence and communion can learn how to commune with others. We are holding this summit 100 days before the canonization of the second Filipino saint. Saint na agad, ano? Blessed Saint-to-be Pedro Calungsod. So our gathering here is not just on a technological bent. No? We are here to witness and to spread the good news of God's graciousness to us as a people. Blessed Pedro Calungsod, a proclaimer of the word, a catechist, and he proclaimed the word across boundaries. But he had no internet. He had no access to internet. He had no access to Wi-Fi and all of those. But he was able to do what we are able to do easily now. But it took for them and his companions, no? Blessed Diego de San Vitores, no? A whole journey across the Pacific, crossing boundaries to reach the Ladrones Islands, the Marianas, no? Where in the midst of poverty and hostility, they proclaimed Jesus, the Word, unto death. They were friendless. People did not welcome them as friends, but they treated them as friends. They treated these people who were against them as friends. And so when their tongues could not proclaim the word anymore, their death became the supreme proclamation of Jesus. Hindi na words, but the silence of a martyr's death. Blood shed, body mangled and thrown into the sea. Up to now, we don't have any trace of that body. Reduced to silence. But now the church recognizes that silence to be an expression of heroic virtue. And so he will be proclaimed as a hero of faith and as a model of Christian life. But Saint Pedro Calungsod was a real friend. He was the friend of Blessed Diego de San Vitores, the Jesuit head of the mission. Sabi po nung iba, dahil mas bata at mas matipuno si Pedro, nung nagsisimula na yung persecution, he could have run away and saved his own life. But he remained with his friend. They were friends in mission. They were friends in death. They were friends in witnessing to Christ. That's true friendship. At siguro, nagchat-chat na yung dalawa sa langit. Ay, biruin mo, sino ba naman ang sukat mag-aakala na yung ating pag-alis sa Pilipinas, uuwi sa ganito, na isang araw magbubunyi ang langit at lupa sa isang bagay na napakasimple nating ginawa. So we commend not only this summit, but we commend our whole mission in the area of social media and social networking to the loving care of Saint-to-be Pedro Calungsod. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat at sana pagpalain po tayong lahat ng Panginoon. Thank you po.